You said something smelled like something before we started. What was that reference to?
I said everything smells like roses.
Horse.
Stop it.
Horse.
What? I got a whiff of it. It's like,
That smells like horse.
sugar.
Sugar.
Horse sugar. Horse sugar.
I ain't backing down, Amanda. Don't you dare.
No.
Don't you dare. What do they? Don't you dare raise an arm against me.
No.
I ain't backing down.
No. Don't back down.
I thought about it today. It's hard coming on here 5 days a week, if not sometimes more, but majority 5 days a week. Ace, come here, buddy.
He's right over
And we're going to show you some houses tonight. All right? Isn't this a beautiful paint job behind us?
I love this. And this
Love
is
it.
Judith's house.
This is Judith's house.
Judith, I just want Judith to know I pick the same green all the time. You can ask my daughter. You can ask it. I pick this color constantly. This is my favorite color.
Yeah, it's really nice. And she's got a lot of colors inside. And most of my life, you getting to know who I am. I talked to somebody, he said, listen, I've watched you for 4 years. He goes, I pretty much know who you are. He said, you can't come a day like this and hide everything about the person, who you are, right? I don't know, for some reason, my mom said I'd come out of the womb fighting, fighting for my life. You know how everybody's got a story.
Did you almost die?
Well, you know what? I don't ever like telling everybody, I've got this story, because everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a beautiful way of surviving and going and stuff, and it's a miracle we're all here.
Wait a minute. Hold on make sure everything's good with your thing. They say
I'm on.
Out.
I'm on. I can hear it.
Okay.
I can see it twitching.
I wonder if you are to hold it.
Let me hold it up. What if I go too close?
I don't know.
All right, everybody, how's that? Can you hear me a little bit better?
How's that?
How's that? 10-4? How about right there?
Let me see. Let me see what they say.
Can you hear me?
Sound keeps clicking on and off.
Aw, man.
Why would it do that?
You got that other microphone?
You can hear, yes. Hold on.
You got that other microphone?
Get it
Hello?
charged up. Randy, you wiggle a lot. He's like Elvis on the what was it? The Ed Sullivan show. Remember?
Yeah.
A whole lot of shaking going up. Which has Jerry Lee Lewis. Okay. Better now. Okay.
All right. Good. Here we go. Yes. It's just like being on HGTV. I remember we would do you see how my brain is constantly just everywhere? That's almost like I'm like a mentally ill Robin Williams.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah. But if we were going to do this show here on this house, when I was on HGTV twice, and I think it came out in 2019, January, it came out, the second one did.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't 2020. I think it was 2019, January. It might have been 2020. But anyway, it would take us all day just to get into the house. Well, no, half of the day to get in, the whole half. And so on and on. And I told HGTV, I said, God, we had sound crew and people and all this stuff. I said, listen, just let me come through this thing and take everybody and walk and do this thing and just film it and tell me what you think. No, you got to. And we would take 3 steps. Nope, I want this person up front, this person here. It was exhausting.
Yes.
So finally, we got to where I was just like, oh my God. So I went in there and I would just ad-libbing everything. I'd just go in there and they say, stop. Okay, that was awesome what you just said. All right, we're going to go back to the front and I want you to say that again. I said, stop. I said, you can only do that once. I can't recreate those feelings. I can't recreate that. These people are not going to laugh at that again.
No.
You're not going to get the same thing.
Well, it's moments. It's not memory.
Yeah.
It's moments.
So when we're doing this show, it's really hard to, like when you have a sound check or something else comes in, or that. But I've learned on here, it's more relaxing. And this is just our show, and you guys watch this. I think we get about 2,500 people sometimes that watch the show over. And we may, and I don't know how many it's the same folks over, which is great, but this is our only means of marketing. So,
it is.
I'm here to show our homes, our prices, our quality, who we are as people, and knowing, I want you guys to know us and who I am, because, I'm the face of this. You don't see all the guys in the background. But I want you to get to know me, because behind me is a company, right? That all these people that I can't do this without.
Right.
But you want to know who I am as a person. And when you guys watch all this all the time, you got to realize, I'm just like everybody else. I was born Midwest.
I'm going to stop that right there because you're not.
I'm not.
No. You're different.
I'm different.
You're different.
How different?
You stick out like a sore thumb.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm just a little fella.
Yeah, you are a little feller, but you are. You got a punch. What? Ta-da-da!
Ta-da-da!
Hey, did you, when you said a minute ago, you come out fighting, did your mom
Yeah.
almost, did you almost die at birth? or
Yeah.
something? I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom was married 16 years before they had me. They thought they'd never
Right.
have any kids, so they didn't know, No, that's right. No, they had Sam.
Brother,
They had. It was 6 years later.
I
was trying to.
Listen,
Where's Sam?
I forget my brother, too.
I was like, where's Sam at?
My brother. I forgot.
But they were married 16 years. My brother was 6 years before that, and I'm like, so
That's
when
a
they
big
had
gap.
me, when they had me, there's like, oh my God, we thought it was over and done and everything. When they had me, anyway, she was in the hospital, she said, and it was so full. She was out in the hallway, and they're having a lot of problems with me
Oh.
because I think I was breech,
Oh, I know that.
and I had the cord wrapped around my neck. Got a doctor on the hospital to do it. And she said what happened is that she was scared to death, thought they were going to lose, rate was going down, all that stuff. And this doctor come in out of Texas, and she said he was wearing a 10-gallon hat.
Wait a minute. I do remember this now. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
And he come in there, and he was a big
Okay.
cowboy doctor. And he said, little girl, he said, what do we got here? He said, oh, I'm going to lose my baby. I'm going to lose my baby.
That's right.
And he manipulated me and figured, her and Minnie and all that stuff. And he delivered me.
I see.
And she said she never got his name or anything like that. She goes, but he saved you and come out. She says, you were blue. I thought you were dead and all that
Oh,
neck
God.
and all that stuff.
She
But I
says
mean,
that just about every day.
that happens all the time.
Wait, hold your mic. Don't put it to your shirt. Let's
Right.
try that.
And that happens to a lot of people, But anyway, it's just, everybody's got a story when they're born and all that stuff.
Yes.
But Mom says, the other night I was in there visiting Mom, and she's 95, going to be 96 in December. And she said, you know what? She goes, Randy, she goes, all you do is work, work, work. I knew you never get time to sit down. And she called me today. Had to go to Knoxville and get some lumber. And she said, you know what? She goes, that's all you've done all your life. She said, you've always had to work for everything you've done. She goes, nothing's ever come easy for you,
No.
And I don't think of it like that. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm just always grateful, man. I'm grateful right now that I can stand here and I'm not crippled up. I really am. And that I can talk, and I just had a meal. I got a place to lay down, and I'm good to go. I don't think about a retirement. I don't think about a new car or truck or paying my bills. I always thought we live in America, and I know everybody thinks America's going down the drain and all this stuff, and Lord knows what's going on. But still, man, we're in a great opportunity. Yes. Where could we ever do anything like this in any other country, right? And I never worry about money. Maybe because I don't need a lot of money to survive, and I don't have a big agenda. I don't need fancy things. I mean, I'd like fancy things if I had them, but I just don't require them. And so when you don't have that, you don't have this fear of being without. If I don't have my special soap, if I don't have my special clothes, if I don't have my special mattress, if I don't have my special pillow, and my special car, and my special oil in my car, and none of that stuff.
Right.
Because
what some people may not know is that they don't know the Randy that I know that has lost things over and over and over, major things, and then financially major thing back in 2008 to 2010, and we're talking nothing. Like having to start over. Think about that. You have to start your life over 100%.
Yeah.
With no money. And we're not talking about, we've talked to people that said they had no money, but they still had a house, they had a car, they had all these different things. That's not what no money is. No money means no money. Zero. So
I was probably in the hole.
Yeah, negative money.
Yeah, because I owed the IRS money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
did.
I owed them $10,000, and I about cried at the IRS office in Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
I said, might as well be $10 million.
Might as well
I just
be.
realized I got $20 on me to get to my these campers and let me lay
Right.
down in. And I went back to that camper. I was pulled the door shut. Boys wouldn't come see me because I'm in a camper and they're in their teens. Their mom and I divorced a couple years before that, and so $1 million in a $1 million
She got the
house.
gold mine. He got the shaft.
Well, it was before the fall. When I divorced their mom,
yeah.
she got, $1 million. I was fine. You're $1 million, house, everything. That's great, right?
Right.
Then the economy collapsed 2 years later,
Oh, yeah.
and she ended up. I didn't have anything, and you know what? I never was angry about that. I didn't care. I didn't like that my boys wouldn't come stay with me because they had their own room, they had their own pool hall. Hell, they'd have everything, But they didn't want to stay with me in a camper. And but I tried to make it fun. I ended up building. I told you guys this before, but I ended up building an addition on the side of my buddy's motorhome. It was a big room, and I built it out of pallets, used metal, used windows. Amanda had insulation in her ceiling in her basement.
Yeah.
And it was just all hanging in this fiberglass. I tore all the insulation out of the ceiling in her office. I mean,
Yeah.
in her basement. Put it in garbage bags, and then put it in the ceiling of that shack.
Yeah.
And then when it rained, because all the metal I used had holes in it, and I tried to caulk it, but it would leak. We had about 6 buckets around the floor everywhere catching water, in there. But build bunk beds, and that's where, I never complained. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was good. I had a bed, and I was building, and I just thought I was just lucky, I thought I was lucky then.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and I tell everybody this, the reason that it was dark for me when I lost everything, it wasn't because of the money. It never has been about the money. It's been about, didn't have a purpose. You didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Think about waking up every single day and you got something to do. And that's what's about him right there and about other guys that are here. We like having stuff to do, man.
Yeah.
And you got a reason. You have a reason to be alive. You have a reason to go on in the day. You got to have something to do. It's like today out to lumber, I was telling a guy, asking him about the shortage in lumber. And he said, you know what the real reason that this lumber, he said, there's no shortage. Get this. At the sawmills, this is one of the main reasons there's no lumber in these places.
Right.
Man, there's no workforce.
I know.
The government are
Right.
paying people to stay home.
I know.
And because of that, these loggers and sawmill guys can stay home and make more money than they did in the sawmill.
No.
Truck drivers, people, delivery guys, they're staying home because they make more money. We have shot ourselves in the foot trying to think that these people, it's always the thing, everybody. You give somebody something, they're not ever gonna appreciate it. I spoiled 2 boys. You know it? And it's taken them to be a man to figure out how to appreciate it.
Right.
And it's just human nature. You don't give to get respect. You don't give to help somebody. You give them a purpose and a reason. And that's why I had so much of a hard time, is because I didn't know what to do with myself. You could have given me money back then, but I'd have been sick. I'd have been like, I have no reason. Where am I going? So you got to know where you're going, to have happiness.
Yeah.
So when you retire, you think, oh, I want to retire. No, don't ever retire. Retirement comes from some mentality that they think we deserve to stop working.
Yeah.
You're never made to stop working.
And it's, what's concerning
ever.
now, what's just kind of scary is that, it's not just stuff that we're seeing on the TV. There are places, they have limited hours now.
Oh, yeah.
And why? And they said it's because they can't get anybody to work. Ruby Tuesdays had 1 waitress. The dollar store shut completely down because they can't get people to come to work.
Wow.
They can't get workers.
I don't know where it's going. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. The guy that we buy our trailers from,
Yeah.
he called me, and he's a big multi-million-dollar banker. He had some meeting, and he said, what their biggest fear is of the future? And they said, believe this, and it wasn't money, that there's going to be a lack.
Unbelievable.
The bankers are talking about there's not going to be any food. And I'm like, well, yeah, there's no wood and there's nothing else. Well, if there's no people to pick your food and grow your food, I can see us being without food,
Right.
And we all don't know if this is going there. And I don't mean to send the alarm out for any people and cause any more anxiety than everybody else has. And so I don't need, you can worry about it. You can plan for it. I'd say plan for it. And again, here I'm going to toot our horn here and say, hey, a community is a great place to be because we all rely on each other and you can help each other. Even if you don't like somebody around here, you're going to end up having to be with each other. And it might be the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody's going to have to just strip down and say you're sorry, say you got to be with each other, and it's just the way it is, man.
It's a part of a family. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You have good days, you have bad days.
Yep. Yep.
Well, the company's that way too. And the company is very close with the customers because of, number one, actual physical closeness and stuff. But we know, we have literally, between all of us, talked to every single customer that there is ever since 6 years ago.
Yep.
So it makes a big difference.
And I'll just tell you guys this tonight, and the reason I'm talking about all this is we got loyal fans that watch us, know who we are, and they're not so eat up with wanting to go see a tiny home that we have. And we will go see some tonight in the show.
Yeah.
And we'll go here just in a second. But back when I had I had a resort called Brothers Cove. You can look it up on the internet. It's still there. And I developed it, I built it, I designed it, everything there. You guys will see it. But then when I lost it, it just was gone. I never filed bankruptcy or anything. It was just gone. The bank took it all. So when I left, it was like, why do you file bankruptcy when you have nothing to lose? I had zero, right? So there was nothing anybody could take. Debtors, I called them all. They were all my friends, and we talked, and it ended up really nice. A lot of people know this story. But one of the debts that I owed was $586,000. Can you believe that? I owed $586,000 to one man. And that man, I had built his log home. He sold logs, and I had built 73 of his homes in that resort. And I probably built another 40 outside that resort before we went in there, or more. And I had friends that I referred to, Tom, two other guys that were good. They bought from him. I couldn't tell you how many log homes that we bought from him. But I owed him $580. And when it went down, he's almost 20 years older. And he's still working.
Yeah.
He's 80. He drives a truck and he owns a company. His sons work it and everything else. It's called Sisson Log Homes, Sisson, Sisson Log Homes in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And just an awesome man. I think it was the University of Georgia. He was the youngest man to graduate with a doctorate in psychology.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a nice man. Very
amazing.
Nice man.
Anyway, when I lost it, I went up to Jim and I said, Jim, what are we going to do? He said, I owe you a lot of money. He never had a cross word with me. And he looked at me, and he looked around, and we was at Brothers Cove, and he looked and he said, hey, it's a good ride, wasn't it? I said, Jim, what am I going to do? He said, we built a lot of homes.
Yeah.
He said, let's keep going. He said,
He's a great man.
He said, you need more lumber, you just holler at me.
Yeah.
Well, that was years ago, and then it took me about 5 years to get on my feet, and I was building all these homes out of scrap lumber because I couldn't afford stuff. And I don't know why, but I never thought about, because he deals in logs, some one buys and stuff. I never thought about buying lumber from him. And so I was trying to buy everything wholesale, trying to buy deals. That's why I'm always shopping and going and doing, and we'll buy everywhere we can. And it occurred to me today to give him a call, And I thought, you know what? I wonder how his shortages are and what's going on with him. And I called him, and I didn't get to talk to Jim. I could have. I talked to another good friend of mine that works there for 30 years with Jim. And I asked Jeff, I said, are you guys having a shortage? What's going on? And he said, no. He said, Randy, we have got piles of stuff. Piles and piles and piles. Now they charge pretty good for it. They charge what the market's going, right? And then I said, Jeff, I apologize. I said, I've been chasing my tail for 5 years trying to build these houses for the least amount of money I could build them for. And everything that I can, I'm trying to get deals, and I shop everywhere. I said, but I apologize. I said, this is finally all it's waking me up to realize that, if we're going to build 150, 200 homes a year, and I hope we build 500 a year. And I said, I want to start buying from you. I don't know why it's never occurred to me before, but I need to start buying from you. And I said, I need to start giving Jim back all my business that I can to even come close to, And so he's going to, I'm going to start, I said, buys, you got V-Groove, you got everything. He goes, Randy, I got everything. We got a tractor, send right up to you. So that's where we're at. And I thought it was a good talk that I had today, a good experience to know. And there was a lot of few other things that occurred to make all that come about. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I think every like situation that comes up that's a challenge, mm-hmm. things that you think, well, it didn't work out today, or this didn't happen right that I wanted to be done. And
right.
But I always think about there's something in that situation we're going to benefit from,
right.
if you'll open your eyes. So it's like going inside the shop and seeing a struggle or something the guys can't figure out. It's like I like a problem, right. And a problem is a challenge, and it feels so good afterwards. Now you're scared to death, and you think it's not going to work, and you're like, oh my God, it's going to cost more money, more time, and it's like fear, right? But then after you figure it out, you realize that you're stronger than you thought you were,
right?
And you're able to make this thing happen, Yeah. So that's why I really love a challenge like today, and coming across situations where you thought it was going to go this way and it never did,
Yeah.
So everybody's still working.
People are working in the shop?
Yeah. Let's come in here.
Yeah, I gotta put it on.
Like HGTV, there's always a bunch of stuff. Take your mind off what you're talking about. I know it. There's Brubba. I hate that I gotta hold this thing.
I know.
What's the matter?
Make sure it's all together.
You getting some problems there, Amanda?
Well, just the mic.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
Is it still cutting out?
I think so, just a little bit.
Well, we darn, I had it charged up, I thought.
I don't know. Some people say it's good, some people say it's not.
Got it.
Anyways, what do we got?
We got all
This
kinds of
looks
cool
like
stuff.
A new one and a new one.
Yep. This is Lesky house. Mm-hmm. So Brett's building this, and I think got a couple people kind of being tutored on this job. Of course, this is Gloria's. We went over there yesterday. Mm-hmm. Have we shown it sheetrocked? I think we went in there, didn't we? It was after it was sheetrocked?
No, we've not seen it yet.
That's Gloria's. We got another one here. This is Matt and Jeff are starting. This is an 8x16.
This is Calvary's.
Calvary's.
Yes.
That's her.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we're starting hers. This is Terry's. And we brought it back in.
I was going to say, I thought that was outside.
It was outside. All we're waiting on is a couple cabinets. We are getting bombarded with cabinet issues because Rob can only build so many.
Yeah.
And see, I've put all of our standard cabinets, the new ones we can buy that are pre-painted, we put them in the ESP homes.
Yeah.
He can't keep up.
Right.
Him and Josh, And we're getting a lot of requests. People love his cabinets, but they are raw wood. All right? There's no paint, finish, nothing. All right?
Yeah.
You can, but we charge extra for it, and we just really don't have time. But, but that's the Terry's. That's Macheski down there. And then we got Jill down there. Jill, that's your house down there, Joseph's building. Mm-hmm. We got two Hobbits. And then this one here, Kevin was doing, he's taking off. I think this is Nicholas.
Yeah.
Yep, here. And of course, Gloria's.
Yeah.
So as you can see, now that I have put on every hat that I can wear in this company, and I want everybody to know that I am not overwhelmed in what I do. I'm not overwhelmed. I know it takes a lot of my life and my time, but I don't have anything else in my life. So this is why I do this, because I have to make this place succeed and go. Hopefully it won't be for the next 10 years that I'll do this. We'll learn and get better and have better people that can be delegated and a better system that can happen. As our men become better builders, we don't have to oversee and really fine-tune everything that they do.
I know one thing.
Yeah.
It's just stick it out.
It is awesome, ain't it?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's the Hobbit house. We can go there now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
my goodness.
We have been showing this over and over, and we have some requests for these rafters. Yep. So this is called a hip roof. Can you see the top of it, Amanda?
Yeah.
All right, so what we've done, is we have chosen to use these panels.
I see that there's the top.
Yeah, so we put panels up on the top so there's no spray foam.
Oh my gosh.
The walls have got this here mixed in with some framed walls, and we'll spray foam just the back portion of that. Now, Scott is a craftsman. He's like Rob when it comes to these homes.
Right.
He's not been able to ever in his career, he told me, to be this imaginative and creative.
Yeah.
And he's never had anybody to say, hey, just have fun with it and go, right?
Yeah.
So this is what he's doing by just telling him, you know what, I want you to have fun with it, Scott, and make it look nice.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
This is so pretty.
So you can see the old rough wood and the poles and everything inside, the porch roof, cedar shakes, and we're going to put grapevines on the outside. So him and I were talking about certain things. Now, you see all these round logs and these holes that are coming out of there?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard to put any kind of trim and all that stuff on it. And this is where I said, we're going to put a stucco on here. Mm-hmm. All right? So we're going to stucco up around all that, and it's going to be waterproof, it's going to be pretty. And then we're going to take cedar shakes. We're going to wrap grapevines around this door. Now, this is like super fast and efficient. This is something we don't labor over because we don't have the time and the money, and the customers, you all, don't have the money to pay $100,000 for this house, right? Mm-hmm. So we're trying to build something authentic for a great price.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing.
That is beautiful.
So this is a 10 by 20 kind of ESP framed kind of house.
Yep.
It's got round, now there's no movable windows. That window's coming out, and we're going to put a round circle window in there.
Oh, that'd be
now,
great.
All right, let me show you how we do a round circle window, okay? All right. The owner, and I disagree with the owner, and he might be watching this, but he's okay. Anybody's got their, we did an organic circle. Scott cut an organic circle because that's what the owner said.
Right.
And he cut two of them. I think it matches everything because nothing else is perfect, right? Well, the owner called back and he said, I want a perfect circle. I don't agree with it. So how do we make an organic circle look like that when you can't buy a piece of glass that's insulated, low E, and tempered? Well, come here. Let me show you a little bit. If we got enough light in here, I'll show you how we do it. Can you? Yeah, right there would be perfect.
Okay.
All right. So what Scott's going to do, and him and I talked about this, we actually got a square piece of glass, and we're going to cut a square out. But we're going to leave the outside skin of our metal, right? Our metal panel. We're going to leave that skin. So whatever design, you can make a stick figure, and you put the glass against the metal, and we'll glue it in really well. And then we're going to put another piece of metal with foam behind it, a foam panel board, about the glass around here, and we'll stucco over the same thing on the inside.
Okay.
You'll never know it was a square piece of glass that made a round hole.
Wow, that's cool.
And we're going to do it there. I think we've got one or two in the back wall here, and then in the kitchen, and up in the two eyebrow dormers. Yeah.
The Hobbit is so cute. I am in love with this roof, or the ceiling, I mean. That is just great. I love that. I would have that in a house if I was doing a house.
I'm so tempted to do it in mine.
Yes, you should.
I'm glad I've waited and not built my own house.
Yeah.
Think about this, man. I was thinking about this the other day. What we've done here. What other tiny home company does this?
Yeah.
What other tiny home company, right? We can take these poles. There are acres and acres and thousands of these poles. I know not everybody wants that, right?
Yeah.
But do you know that if that house goes on, we could build homes and skin these and make them very pretty and put V-groove on top of those? We can use, if somebody said, hey, as long as we got, and listen, we got these foam panels we can use. Somebody said, well, if you don't have foam panels, well, we'll come up with something else to build out of, right? Right now, this is what we have. And we can utilize these panels, the logs. They're taking wood from us, all right? We're going to use trees.
Yeah.
You know, they take trim from us. You use grapevines. And I know that's not a motif for everyone.
Right, it's not.
But by God, it's still paying our bills.
Yeah. Well, and two, there's something else too that comes up is that we can't think, it's been 6 years in this business. We couldn't think of everything year 1. Year 2,
Right.
there was more stuff. Year 3, there's more progress. Year 4. So it's like some people would go back and be like, well, I wish I'd have known that. We wish
Yeah.
we'd have known it. We didn't know it at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what
You
you
didn't think
learn?
about it.
What you learn from
You
not
learn.
having.
You do.
By not having something.
Yes.
I told somebody before, I said, I'm glad I've never had all the money I needed.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for having a need, I would have probably never invented a lot of things that I've tried to
I think
invent.
a lot.
Because I had to.
Yeah.
It's the only way to
You gotta
survive
figure it out.
in the business. Yep.
That is cool.
That's beautiful.
How is this one going? This is.
Well, this one is so cool on the inside that people are requesting these kind of rafters. We gotta go look at this one here too.
Okay.
All right. We haven't shown the inside, and the homeowner, I'm sure, would love to see it.
Okay.
We got barnwood still.
Oh my goodness!
Look inside that. Isn't that
Look at
beautiful?
that.
Look at all these. These are cedar right here. He's glued them, and he's
That's
nailed them on the
cute.
side of that.
That is cute.
Now the glass,
Big window.
this is a big piece of glass, and it'll fit right up against that trim board.
Wow.
But look at the inside rafters inside that ceiling. Isn't
Oh
that
my
cool?
gosh. Yeah, let me do it from the outside here.
We have got people now that are requesting these kind of rafters
What's this
in their
there
house.
for? Why is this a
That was a
thing?
live edge piece of wood.
Okay.
And the bark just come off right
Oh,
there.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So those are all just little, like, what, 1-inch pieces?
Yeah.
1-inch little.
Yep.
That is cool.
Does that
Yeah,
look
a
neat?
big window. Look at the big window that's going to go there.
But the rafters in the ceiling, I was wanting you to look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll show
Inside.
Wow. All right. Now. Oh my gosh, that looks great. Holy cow.
Now look, listen. You don't have to have barnwood on top of those old cedar poles.
Right, right.
You can use T&G, Amanda.
Really?
Yeah, you can use regular
Oh, that
pretty
looks
wood.
good.
And having that exposed rafters, I really like.
I love that. I love that whole look.
Yep. It's got a sprinkler system.
So unique. That's what Karen said. Yeah. Udi said this would look amazing, just poly on top. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Woo. That is great. Well, that looks great. Okay.
We need to do Ryan's house, what he's working on, and we need to do this one here that David's working on, okay?
Okay, you do this one first.
Yep. Now this is a 10 by 28. It's got a tongue box in the front.
Big house.
This is David's house he's building. He's just an amazing builder. Look at that box.
Wow. I mean, that's a tiny house.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go, Amanda? Look, I'm even gonna, look, hang on, look. I even turned around in here, Amanda.
You did turn
Look at
around. That
Isn't that something?
that is huge.
Come get
That
me.
is a huge.
You gotta get me.
What do you mean get you?
You gotta grab me. I can't get out of here.
Grab you. Grab you. Where? Where? Just stop.
Help me, Amanda, help me.
Here. Let me get you by your
Grab
belt.
my britches.
You have to crawl.
Hey, na. You ain't nothing without me. How's he go that?
That's it right there. Look at that box. Wow.
Yep. Now up there is the air exchanger up in the peak.
Right up there.
Isn't that pretty? It's right and centered. Looks
Wow.
good.
God, it's a big house.
This house, this has got a rubber roofing. This is our termination strip. The quarters are mitered, screwed, glued, sanded, done, locked.
Man.
Lap siding, cuts are nice, flashing.
Is this house staying here or is it going?
It is going to Washington,
Oh my goodness. It's
near
huge.
Seattle. Yes.
So there's 2 different size dormers?
Yeah, he's got a little 6-footer. I think it's a 10-foot here.
There's a 6-footer, a 12-footer.
12. 6, 12, and 8.
3 dormers?
Let's go. Let's go talk to the builder.
Is David
You stay right there.
Retired. Look at
Oh
him.
yeah, this dude knows what's going on. Look at him.
Oh, this is nice. David keeps a clean place. Man.
You're just enjoying what you've done.
I do. Yeah, they found out, unfortunately, on the first
Close
floor.
your
that the dormer wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
Didn't give you any head clearance, so we had to open that dormer up another 2 foot, so that's a 12-foot dormer on
Yeah.
this side.
Oh
Good.
my goodness.
It's got 8 foot on the other side, but that's so that when you walk up the steps, you don't hit your
Hit
head.
your head.
Yeah,
That's
so-
right.
And this is a 6-foot dormer with an 8-foot loft, so you have an extension pass.
And that's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't it neat? So you got a 6-foot dormer here. What I think looks cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like a little cubby up in there. Of course, this one, like David's saying, we got to have the headroom when you walk up steps, and we've talked to cabinets under here. But I think these fixed glass in the kitchen, I don't know, it reminds me of a modern home like in California. Who's in Signal?
Yeah, this house is gonna have a stacked washer and dryer in the bathroom. It's gonna have a full-size fridge
You can go for
and a standing, range over the gas range,
A
so.
regular size gas range, regular size appliances.
Yeah, and I put an ice maker in for him, wasn't on the sheet, but we gave him one.
Yeah, I remember you
So,
talking about that.
it's just,
Is that a pocket door or a barn door?
no, it's gonna be a barn door. It's gonna slide in behind the staircase at the very back edge of the last cabinet. It'll slide in behind.
Perfect. Good.
Yeah. I still have to build shelves in that little cubby back there. If you go back there, it's pretty small, but
Right.
that's where the electrical panel is. But I'm gonna build the shelves and make them two 1x12s wide, which would be almost 24 inches.
There you go.
But I won't secure them, so that way if they're too wide, you can pull out the front one and it'll only be 12 inches wide. But that
Yeah.
way, if he wants the extra shelf
Yep.
space, because maybe as it gets higher, he
You want
wants
those wide.
somewhat- Yeah. So I'll
Good.
make them all of that 24 inches wide, and then he
Beautiful.
can do what he wants with them.
Good. You're about to the point where you can build without a plan now, right?
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, you
Yeah.
kind of know what's going on and what's happening next. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
First farm style thing I put in, but that's no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The first air exchanger I installed,
Up there? Yep.
a little bit of a challenge. You know, I had having to hardwire it and all that stuff, but it turned out looks good. I mean, I like it's.
That was a 6-inch hole saw, right?
Well, it was a 6-inch hole saw, but it wasn't big enough, so that just makes it a lot easier to
Yeah,
get
the
hole
slide in
every
there.
time, yeah.
Right. And you
I
got to
was-
lay that wiring out before that and drill
Yeah,
a hole.
I ran it up. I ran the studs 12 inches apart and ran the wire up and just kind of looped it up over. So
Yeah.
when I cut the hole, I
And it
pulled
was
the
there.
wire out.
And there it was there.
So
Yep. Awesome.
yeah, so it's hardwired. It's got a remote, but it's hardwired.
Sprinkler system, trim.
It's got puck lights over the kitchen here. It's
Yeah,
got
Joseph's asking, what are the holes to the left of David?
Those are
Those-
sconce
there's
Okay.
two
wall lights.
wall
Okay.
lights. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he has
TV.
a TV mount, and he wanted coax, so I ran coax. And if you would, since you called in the tongue box, I've got the coax coming. I've got it coming out of the tongue box so the cable people can just easily.
There
hook
you
it up in
go.
the
So we
tongue
ran it
box.
from here to the tongue box to hook it up.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
Beautiful.
It looks great.
yeah.
I'm gonna get a shot of it out here at the corner.
You know, the story behind this house is that we started this house. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Dad.
We started this house in Oregon,
Yes.
and it's a wonder we're still in business. You all know about this. We started this house in Oregon, and it just didn't work out. That house, we have that house out there that's framed in. It's framed in, wired, plumbed probably, and it's got windows and some siding on it. So it's quite a bit along.
I mean, it's beautiful.
And
house.
we talked to the
And it looks 10.
Yeah, talked to the owner, and so what we did is we had to actually bring the house. We couldn't bring it back. We didn't bring it back. We brought 3 back. We had 5 out there. We started this house all over again from
looks
scratch.
great.
So we paid twice on this house. Yeah. All right, got this one here. Siding. Let's go inside and look at it, man. We've looked on the outside of this.
A lot of people say blue.
Oh, cleaning up, aren't you?
I bet so.
That's all right, man. We're going to come show everybody this, the homeowner really. Got the TNG spray foam. It's all done. It's been a challenge because we didn't have spray foam, didn't have the metal on it, but right now we're cranking.
Okay.
So we've got Ryan and Tim on it. I think I'll probably have 2 more guys helping Ryan out tomorrow. We got interior walls. We're trying to get this done by the 17th.
Oh,
Well, the
awesome.
homeowner needs this house, so it's about a week left to work. And this right here shouldn't be just probably half a day or more, and guys can start doing some other. You can see they've already started the window trim. And staging everything. Once you get the V-groove up, then you just set the bathroom walls and your doors and stuff, you know.
Good to go.
Thanks, Ryan.
What size is it?
This is what, 8 by 6? 8
8 by
freedom.
8 by. Awesome.
But we're gonna have this. This is another one that was out there that's just taken so long. I'm ashamed that it's taken too long to build. And the people have been really gracious to, you know, what we've done. So anyway,
God, there's just a lot of houses.
they're everywhere, aren't they?
It's beautiful.
No. So, all right, everybody. Hey, I'm Randy Jones with Incredible Tiny Homes. Thank you for tuning in, watching us. We'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Tomorrow's Wednesday already.
Gone.
Oh my God, it's just gone.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you.